Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I kind of want to pick up where I left off in the last video where I was talking about the horns that I had picked up from an estate sale. And to kind of continue on to figure out what led up to this point. So in my research of this horn, through talking to some buddies and some experts on just train stuff in general, I figured out that this horn was from the Norfolk and Western Railway. So, the Norfolk and Western Railway was kind of famous for what they did to their horns. They really liked to stamp their S5Ts and then later on RS5Ts with a stamp that says MOD or mod. So, the reason that they stamped these horns with mod was because they would go in and they would drill out the dowel pins on these Leslie horns. So these dowel pins basically act as a restrictor for the air that goes into the power chambers. Now, when you drill them out, you relieve the restriction or you make it easier for the air to flow into the power chambers. With more airflow into the power chambers, these horns become significantly louder, but they also consume a bunch more air. It was in all of this research that I figured out that it was a Norfolk and Western GP9 that was later sold off to the Farmrail Corporation and then later donated to the museum where I got this horn. So it's a pretty interesting find, to say the least. It's a pretty awesome horn. I didn't even know that that's what this horn was when I bought it, but to find this out after the fact is kind of awesome, if you ask me. So what I did was I went ahead and I bought a new set of diaphragms. Here's a picture of the old diaphragms next to some RS diaphragms and a air chime diaphragm. You'll see that S head diaphragms are actually two pieces. They're two separate pieces. There's an outer ring and an inner disc, and most all of the ones that came out of this horn were trash. They were either warped or grooved really bad. So I got a new set and then I sent the heads off to be remachined. So I knew that there was one problem with uh, the diffuser plate on one of the back gaps, but I didn't realize how many other problems there were. There were actually on the tabby head, there was a rivet that was so large that it was actually interfering with the diaphragms, not allowing them to work properly. And they ended up all being replaced with low profile custom machine screws from my machinist. Um, so once they got all machined, they were reassembled and tested. So after this, I got everything back and put together. So I went out to take some photos with the horn. It was in the S5T RF configuration with a reversed 31 and 55. And then I proceeded to test it. And here is the results. Okay, so after that, I was a little bit disappointed because, as you can tell, the horn was making noise, but it wasn't making noise properly. So I was kind of lost. So I went ahead and I talked with my machinist, and we started going through trying to figure out what the problem was. And what I ended up doing was taking the diaphragms out because they were brand new, machined from an individual, but they didn't come flat. So the problem was, if the convex side of the diaphragm was not facing the nozzle, um, too much air was getting by and it wasn't allowing for the head to actually vibrate and make noise. So I went through and tested each head individually to make sure they were going to work. And then once I did that, I reassembled the horn one piece at a time until I got it working. In this video, it's going to be uh, all bells forward, um, because I was so frustrated at this point that I didn't want to be messing around with different bell configurations. I just wanted to make sure the horn would actually work. Okay, so you can tell from those videos that we got a pretty good result. The horn is loud. Those full orifices really let that air run through this horn, and that is ultimately what led to the local sheriff showing up and asking us what we were doing. So um, we ended up having a pretty cool conversation with that sheriff. But with that high flow of air, that large amount of air running through that horn can actually lead to premature wear on the diaphragms. So my next project with this horn is going to be resizing all the dowels to their standard variable orifice size, which was a 23455 on the uh, bells, respectively, from longest to shortest. So number two dowel, like number 25 should have, is an eighth of an inch. So this horn has eighth of an inch orifices on every bell instead of just the number two. So I've remade at least the 55 dowel for now. It's a number 5 dowel, which is a 5/64 inch hole instead of an eighth inch hole. So um, that's kind of what's going on now. I really do appreciate you watching this video. If you found this video interesting, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I upload one of these videos. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.